Welcome, one and all. This is the Peace Dealer. I am still alive. I am well. I hope you are too. You, of course, is reflexive and plural. But how y'all doing? Especially those of you in the live chat holding me down. As always, I was lurking in the live chats like I always do before I go live. So Khalil was right. Mystic Illuminations has been lit all week. Dreams are coming true, and the channel is expanding as it's meant to. So, first of all, I have appropriately titled this broadcast Revelation of All Revelations. You see, one thing you have to understand about evilness and life, even though coincidentally evil and life are like oppositely spelled, which is not really true, but people make that correlation. You could throw that away in the garbage. But I will tell you something about evil. A lot of people, for some reason, wait for evil to show them in the face. They wait for the devil to bear its horns before you know that something is evil. And you have people playing you left and right because they're giving you what they want. They're giving you what you want. They're telling you nice things about yourself. You know what I'm saying? But they're just a devil in a human body, and they know it. But they fool so many people, and they think they can catch you slipping. The peace dealer is saying that you're not going to get caught slipping because you're not going to let them catch you slipping. Welcome to the revelation of all revelations. See, sometimes the light side likes to flank the dark, and in certain moments pull a light attack and just reveal everything. Everyone's cards get pulled. This is what happened to us the last couple of days during the Grand Cardinal Cross. Okay. And in that Grand Cardinal Cross, what we were tested on profoundly had much and loads to do with how much integrity we have in our characters, as well as what do you do when elements such as temptation strike, or major decisions that allow you to get ahead in life, sometimes at the expense of others. Some of you passed that test with flying colors, woke up feeling brilliant. Others of you probably caved into the pressure, and, anything you're trying to hide will ultimately get revealed. That's why, as a Gemini, and I think other Sun and Geminis just get this at a core spirit level too. Libra gets it, but more reflexively. That Libra gets it in a way where it's like, well, yeah, that makes sense. And then Aquarius just knows. Like, Aquarius is waiting for 2020 when Pluto gets in Aquarius, and like it's a wrap. Well, really 2025, but regardless, um anything that's hidden will be revealed, surely. This is why certain people make it a point to just be honest, even if it's not politically correct, even if it's not necessarily like the most eloquent way to put it. You're better off being honest and not hiding anything, because everything that you have hidden is now in the 12th, 8th, or 4th house of astrology. You're now operating in water territory. You're trying to just shove some stuff down in the water. And it's like, hey, that's going to come to light. Every single thing that has been hidden is going to come to light. This is the first revelation chapter of 3. And we're getting this at the base right now. This is when you're just about to reveal stuff about not just your feelings, but you're going to be feeling this in the air as far as like what the energy surrounding your situation is, to where it's not just a concept. You can actually take energetic vibrations and derive and gain information from them without it having to be mental, without your body having to pick up stuff. Since, I don't know, we're all psychic. So this is another element and part of our senses that we can use to not only derive information or make sense of our experience, but to project and control other people, like some dark, evil people have been doing in your face, acting like they're helping you. And that's what I started this video off of with, because if you're waiting for people to like, um if you're waiting for people to like screw you over in your face, then chances are you've invited the evil ones. Evil ones is just a convenient way for me to say like people who are bad. Ali Smith, do you think, is it because my eyes are red? Do I look bad, guys? Someone asked if I'm good. I'm Gucci. Like I woke up feeling brilliant. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's the moon in Scorpio, but I feel amazing. I'm not really even just saying that. I'm not gonna lie, there might be a couple other reasons why my eyes are red, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Are you entertaining people who you feel and know are dark in your life? Now, if you're a double agent, that's totally different. Like we do this all day. Like we're the ones who tempt the dark spirits because like we're the Smiths of the Smiths. But if you know something deep within your feelings, and it's like you're entertaining people who it's not necessarily like you don't need in your life, because that's what the passive, that Grand Cardinal cross taught me, that you gotta listen to your intuition. You gotta listen to your intuition. And it's more than your intuition. You just gotta listen to your soul. When your soul tells you that someone is just like, mm, all right, it's harder for me because I have the Gemini that likes everyone, and then my Capricorn be like, that person's a fraud, that person's weird, that's what I appreciate about Capricorn. They'll just be blunt in your face. Sagittarius too. And that just taught me that no matter how mean I think my Capricorn moon is, it knows what it's talking about. Oh, it knows what it's talking about. And I'm gonna take that with me moving forward. Um, it is what it is. For whoever wanted to know how you can tell if you're a double agent, go to my playlist and look for World War Zero, and you'll see that video specifically. It's very relevant because once we move into Jupiter and Scorpio, not only does the divine RPG begin, but double agents are going to come into a huge rise of prominence. You can bet on that. Regardless, though, I'm going to say this one more time. A whole lot's going to be revealed. You really have to like examine what your soul is telling you about situations. And remember, this is subjective. So don't think too objectively. Just because you feel bad about something doesn't make you the good person. Your soul only is concerned about protecting you, not about what your morals are, not about what you think is right. It's just you. All right. And the people you care about. That's about it. Or people in your soul tribe who your soul recognizes. Okay. The advent of kind of shaping and putting into a box intentions is just meant to control you anyway. And stuff like this is going to be revealed because we have Mars conjuncting Mercury all through this week. The sun's catching up to this. This is like nuclear bombs being deployed and people being sent to you to change your whole life. And whether you let them or not, some of you have to make sure that they don't. Some of you have to open up. It really depends on what your ambitions are and whether you're ready for the call or not, unless, it's a fake call. I can tell you about fake calls. Anyway, it is what it is. We are definitely all very aware of Chiron retrograde at huge length. There's a lot that's been said about it. And really the only thing I feel right now is very relevant about Chiron retrograde, or just Chiron, is that it's at the final degrees of Pisces, and it's outer. It's a trans-Saturnian planet, but this is not only just healing at a high spiritual level, but it's also existential healing. And it's not really right for me to say Chiron retrograde is or means ABC, because that's like saying Pisces is box. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a very regardless of where Chiron is, it's going to heal a certain facet of one's psyche or body or wherever. But when we talk about Chiron and Pisces, We're really talking about the intergalactic warfare that's being fought over your free will. Whether you even deserve, as a lower being in this lower dimension, to tap into higher forces past the angelic realm, Libra and Virgo, so that you can assert your free will and manifest things. There are a whole lot of beings that would rather just control you, okay, and manipulate you because you're more useful controlled than having free will. And it's really no point to sugarcoat this, because if you're waiting for the devil to grab you by its horn, and if you're waiting for war to bust out before you know that there's a problem that's serious, a lot of you won't think that there's something seriously wrong until a bomb detonates in your town. But the IRS and the Federal Reserve are stealing tons of money from your face and making you deal with the tax burden that's just going to blow up before it's like 2020 and we return to the depression times, just like the last time Uranus was in Taurus. And you're going to deal with it because we're just letting Democrats are doing nothing about it. Republicans are not doing about it. This isn't a conspiracy. It's a mathematical fact. Like tens of trillions of dollars are being swooped. And the Democrats want to make sure Obama finished his term. Republicans want to like screw the whole thing so that everyone else take care of it. And we're just feeding into the program. We don't talk about this, but we'll make mad petty tweets on social media about social issues that really don't matter. And I know they really don't matter because in 2 days, we're bitching and moaning about some other celebrity who did this. And then we'll make the biggest fanfare out of shit that doesn't matter. God forbid something national happens that really gets us to care for like at most a week. We're back to the same BS. And this is journalism and psychology being fed to the human populace that we have eaten for years. All right. That's one thing I just have to like respect these dark forces for. Because if it was just like a 50-year thing, I was talking smack. I was like, back before like I got sealed away and before I reincarnated, I was like, it'll never work. The next generation will get hip. This will only work for 50 years. And it's like, whoa, not just 50 years. I can understand if it was even 500 years. They've been getting away with this for centuries. For centuries, all right? Before the 1800s, but when we were in the Dark Ages, when the Nicene Council wanted to syncretize everything so that they were like, well, damn, how are we going to control all these people if we have pagans? These goddamn Gnostics are bringing people to light and they're taking our control and giving people knowledge of the occult. We need to syncretize everything and just get everyone to follow Cesar Bajor, whatever that dude is, call him Jesus, and we'll make it a day. We'll take all the holidays, make them one, blah. And then you won't be surprised. Some people are like, that won't work. Well, look where we are now. Like hundreds of years. This is not only psychological mind control, there are aliens involved. This is intergalactic. If you think about what squares Scorpio, it's Aquarius. And once you get to that final 4 zodiac signs, that's the spiritual conglomerate that's just like stunning on everybody. And it's cool because when someone like me says it, I'm really just some jumpstart messenger saying whatever. I don't sound informed. I don't have proof. I don't have glasses on my face breaking down the proof. I'm just telling you the truth, and the ones who hear know. So it is what it do, and it is what it is. So I'm only telling you this because some of you watching here see through the BS, and you don't have to save the world. You don't have to really like, you're not the one that has to really change everything. All you have to do is do your part. We're in Cancer season right now. You just have to show up and be sincere. Seriously, some of you have to stop doing what the gods are supposed to clean up their mess on. They have these Libras and Virgos cleaning up their mess, all stressed out than a mug. They got these Scorpios misunderstood like a mug. Mad misunderstood Scorpios. You wonder why they're angry all the time. It's like, you don't understand. Like, I want to kill you. I want to kill everyone I go outside with. Not me. This is the average sun or moon in Scorpio. Like, you don't understand. Like, people are being very disrespectful. They don't respect my space. They can't even see how their own actions are affecting what they're doing. Like, I want to kill everyone. I can't hold back this. I just feel bad for you, Pluto Sun Scorpios or Pluto Moon. Do you think Pluto plays? Do you think Pluto even gives a damn to like explain? Pluto is not Mercury. Mercury and Venus are going to sit you down. All right. Venus is just going to be like, okay, bitch. Okay, bitch. This is why you're wrong. See, a lot of people don't know Venus is representing Libra. Libra is all about debates. Libra has the conscientiousness of mind to be like, this is why you're wrong, and I'm gonna tell you this is why you're wrong. They're opposite Aries that'll just like smack you for no reason. Like, you, Aquarius and Aries is like, you don't agree with me, you're basic. But Libra will debate you because they want you to voice your opinion. Scorpio and Pluto are not like that. Scorpio is just like, no, like, you disrespected me, now you need to die. Now you need to die. Now I need to like torture you, but you don't even deserve that. You need to die. I'm just voicing this out because some of you feel this and you feel guilty for feeling this. Really, look, I see people in the live chat agreeing with me. So please don't think I'm being facetious. Like, some of you need to stop feeling guilty with your Venus and Scorpio, with your Sun and Scorpio. People are throwing shade at you. People are being possessed by entities to throw shade at you, and you're a water sign, so you feel the shade, you understand it, and then people want to turn around and act like, I don't know what I did. Yo, why aren't you murking them? Are you afraid? Are you afraid? Okay, let me tell you something. A lot of y'all say mutable signs are serial killers. Like, if you look at those memes and they're like, oh, mutable signs are serial killers, which is just propaganda. It's no different than what the media does. They'll just take a group of people and show you all the bad stuff about them, but they won't show you the good stuff because they can present. Look, let me tell you something. All the other zodiac signs that are serial killers, they're nice with it. Okay, if a Scorpio starts going on a killing spree, or a Virgo, right? But that's mutable. Or a Cancer, you won't find out. Even though Cancer has the most arrests for passionate murders, but like Aquarius, okay, Scorpio, like, they won't get caught. They won't get caught. All right, let me tell you how realistic this is, just so you know how crazy of a world. Do you know that there's serial killers that make this a hobby? All right. Talk about Scorpio in the sixth house. Like, think about how easy it would be to incorporate murder. The moon's in Scorpio, so this is why I'm talking about this. Think about, and you can substitute this with any other habit that you would never know someone does. Pisces too, but Pisces is mutable, okay? Think about how easy it is to actually kill somebody in your schedule. Like, if you were just to kill, and a lot of people don't think like this, but if you were just to kill 3 people a week, and you have a healthy knowledge of forensics and the forensics teams and what they look for, and you are probably like Dexter. There are people out here like this, my friend. Like, oop, I am reaching my quota. It's been about a whole week. Oh, wow, maybe we can squeeze a 4th one in there. And just think about how loose some towns are with murder, how whack their police forces are. Not every town has a NYPD. Not every town has a like LAPD that are like trying to ranks. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone's police force is top notch. You see people missing, getting sold into like dark world stuff right under your nose. And when I say this is a spiritual war, I don't mean this all cuckoo, like, get your sage, get on your knees and pray. It's being brought to you. And this is nothing that's been new. Chiron is retrograding. I know a lot of you are sensitive. You know what I'm saying? I know we're dealing with a lot of sensitive emotional issues, but I'm just being real. Some of y'all are dealing with some first world problems. Some of y'all are dealing with some first world problems. Some of y'all in the live chat are dealing with some real problems. Maybe your whole family got hemmed up and stuff, and life is getting real, and like, you have nothing but you to go on with. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about some of y'all dealing with some straight first world problems. My boyfriend broke up with me, and I feel undervalued, and I get rejected everywhere I go. Like, okay, no, that's not even a real problem. We're talking about real problems where someone just got raped, gang raped, and like, they can't talk to anyone about it because no one will represent them. We're talking about somebody whose whole parents got slaughtered, and then he finds out that his brother was an undercover agent to slaughter his whole tribe, and now that poor boy has to grow up with the vendetta of killing his brother. Okay, we're talking about real life issues, about a guy who saves a little kid from getting run over, and then he dies, but then he becomes a spirit detective. Some of y'all don't know, I was just talking about anime, but it is what it is. Let's just pretend they're real issues. Regardless, Chiron in Pisces is going to be very not sparing. Like, there's a dark side to Chiron too. The second example was Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho. I don't think anyone caught that. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, Chiron retrograde is going to be very stern because it's squaring Saturn and Sagittarius. Saturn and Sagittarius is just OD pissed off because it's like, I'm ready to move into Capricorn. There's just too many frauds. There's too many people flexing on the internet. I need to subpoena and serve all these people. This is just not fair. This is now putting unnecessary pressure on Chiron. Chiron in Pisces, the first few degrees, it was just like, yeah, we're going to bring peace. Now it's about to go into Aries, and it's going to be there for a while. Chiron in Pisces is, nah, universe, y'all got me messed up. Look at all these people frauding spiritually. I'm trying to heal them and give them peace so that they can illuminate more people. They're taking my healing and they're using it to deceive more people. And it's like, I can't. And I can't just, because I'm a higher planet, I can't just pick and choose who I heal. Chiron's on strike, y'all. Don't get it twisted. This Chiron retrograde, Chiron is on strike. Like, Neptune's, once it passed Neptune, and Neptune was like, Chiron. Saturn was lying to you. This is how it really is. You know how Pisces and Neptune would just kind of like put you on to the secret truth real quick, especially if Scorpio's involved. It'd be like, even though you can't always trust it because Neptune's delusional, but Neptune's like, yo, Chiron, check this out. Yeah, a lot of these people are hiding their dark sides. They're not really being honest about what they're vulnerable about. And we're playing ourselves because in order for you to really reap this karma and heal, you have to be vulnerable. Chiron retrograde is putting you in situations to where you're spiritually vulnerable. And y'all are trying, well, not everyone. See, I don't want to make it sound like all of y'all are doing this because some of y'all are acing these tests. So it's not all of y'all. But if you're trying to like be Bob the Builder and fix it, first of all, I got to pull your card. I'm going to be like, excuse me, are you a Virgo? Do you have a Virgo moon? Do you even have a Virgo rising? Oh, but you're trying to fix it. Are you a crit? No, like, no, you're supposed to surrender. Okay. You're supposed to let these sensitivities pick and scab you. And you're supposed to either put yourself on blast or really confront these issues. Chiron retrograde is going to make you confront these issues even more. And when I'm talking about spiritual issues, I'm talking about very profoundly your belief in spirit. All right, Chiron retrograde is healing your connection with the divine. And one thing that we have to remember when it comes to intuition and the divine is intuition only makes sense after you listen to it. So for all you people trying to pull cards before you make a decision, for all you people trying to wait, you know what I'm saying? You ever meet someone who they'll give you advice, but then you give them advice, but then they're like, okay, but what do the cards say? And then it's just like, okay, it's okay. They don't understand. But it's like, they're always like, okay, but what does the card say? You need to heal your connection with the divine because this is you. The magic comes from you, not the tools. It's you. It's really you. Like us, if you want to say that. Everything that's living, right? So your relationship and connection to the divine, your faith is being healed. And when it comes to faith, the highest level of magic, which right now is a lot to do with illusions, you have to really allow yourself to be put in situations where you don't know what is going on, but you have faith because your intuition is guiding you. And the reason why Chiron retrograde is torturous for some of you is because you're trying to play spirit. You're trying to put spirit in the cut like, okay, this is what my intuition says, but here are some realistic things that I'm going to do. Like your intuition and Neptune and Chiron retrograde is trying to make you go left field. It's trying to make you do stuff purposefully that is not logical. And look, Mars is conjunct Mercury in Cancer. So there's no logic involved. No Gemini. Like Venus isn't in Gemini yet. We don't have Leo for any light. Like right now, if you don't feel somewhat irrational, it's not that it's irrational. It's that your intuition is not following logic. And even in some manuscripts, all right, there'll be like the Bible. It will say like, sometimes God frustrates the logic of man. And God has to do that sometimes because y'all won't respect God and y'all think that y'all try and talk to God like, no, God, I think this is what we should do. And then God has to hold himself back from G-checking you. Like, hold on. No, but think about how many times people do this. Like God will put you on a calling. God will say, I want you to lead the people. And then you're going to turn around to the person who created you and knows your strengths and weaknesses. No, God, I'm not good enough for this. I don't know. I don't think I can do this. And then, oh, someone said my mic is cracking again. How do I sound? Thanks, Dex, for the heads up. Is the mic any smoother or, oh no, it's crackling. Fuck that. I wonder why it gets choppy after some time. That's really weird. If anyone can help me understand why the mic starts off good and then starts crackling, please let me know, because I don't know if it's like a timing issue, but it is what it is. So anyway, some of y'all, God will like put you on a path, or it doesn't even have to be like God, just someone from a higher awareness point. And some of you, it happens to you. You ever seen those memes where it's like when you see someone who didn't take your advice suffering and then you get a little bit of petty? Yeah, Dax, it is spiritual attack. Thank you. It really is a spiritual attack. Like there's no reason she could get crackly when I'm going in. But regardless, like this is the whole Chiron retrograde and the water supremacy thing. Like you have to really, when you surrender to the higher force, it's not so that you can have your way. It's like respect, number one, and it's principle. Like you cannot, I mean, have you seen those memes, my life? Yes, Iraq. We've already went over how internet memes are the number one like revolutionary thing in the world. But yeah, I have to really say it like this because Saturn retrograde squaring Chiron retrograde is you trying to tell a higher force that you know your own plan better than it knows. And it is guiding you from your intuition. So if you're not listening to your intuition, you're not paying attention to this divine guide. And it's like, you cannot tell the divine what you think your life is. When the divine tells you, this is your calling, you should go lead these people, and it's outside your comfort zone, you can't start being like, no, I'm not good enough. No, I don't think you know. I can't do this because A, B, and C. Did God ask you what you can't do? Nothing is impossible with God. Did God ask you what you can or cannot do? Did Goddess even talk about that? Did Goddess even think about that when you were being created? Like, are you going to answer the call or not? Because some of you think you're slick. Some of you are like, okay, my intuition says I should do this, but it doesn't make sense. So I'm just, in case that doesn't work, I'm just going to do it this way and this way. Just so, no. And then sometimes God has to frustrate your logic and make you do something that doesn't make any sense at all. This is Pisces, by the way. This is how Pisces and Sagittarius work. They're going to make you do some stuff that makes no sense. It's completely irrational, but it will show you miracles exist because it's not logical. So you know it can't work. Okay? Some of y'all are getting blocked by the call very profoundly, because you're not allowing yourself to rid the influences around you that you know you don't need. And then you get gaslighted, or you get straight up interfered, but you want to entertain those people who you still know don't really, you know what I'm saying? Some of you, they're like clear indicators. You light sage in front of them, or you start to sing. You know, when you start to get high vibration around someone and they get negative, that's a clear indicator. All right. Even I go through it too. Somebody will sing and their vibration is too high. And then the negative part within me is inside feels like, oh, you need to cut that shit out. Like, you're too high vibe. So don't think that I'm like 100% pure too. I have dark within me too. I'm just a yin yang apprentice. So I have to have light and dark and balance it. But be careful. Like when you start saying something highly spiritual, and it's not really opinionated, it doesn't have to be something about your beliefs. When you sing, there's nothing wrong with, like, unless you're singing like crap. But when you do something like whistle, when you do something that's like high vibrational, that's positive, even if it's nothing that interferes with someone's space, and they start getting uneasy, they start getting fidgety. We have a lot of water energy right now. This is your way to kind of like spot the fakes, the revelation of all revelations. The next water triune revelation is going to be when the sun is in Scorpio and Jupiter joins and the moon is in Cancer. This is going to be the next level of this revelation, to where everything that we're being revealed right now, we're going to come into an awareness of in November. And then in November, okay, everything that we're aware of is going to come into profound clarity and awareness of experience come Pisces season, when Jupiter's already in Scorpio going retrograde around then, and then the moon's in Cancer. So this is a series of revelation. This is the first level where we're aware of this at an emotional, water level, psychic level, okay? And yeah, we're gonna go into the Peace Mobile soon, but with this energy that we have, oh my God, my charger. With this energy that we have quite profoundly, actually might as well put this back. With Mars, if a lot of you are feeling more vigor than you usually do, it's profoundly coming from this supercharged emotions that we have. And you really have to be sincere about how you feel. Nothing wrong with expressing yourself eloquently, but don't be fake. Don't hide how you feel just because you're afraid of conflict. I'm not saying to be 100% transparent and fill in 100% of what's going on, maybe, because there is strength and wisdom in tact and strategy. But if you really feel a certain way towards someone, don't hide it just because you're afraid of conflict. Be open with it. And here's your incentive. If you don't do it now, when this energy squares, it's going to do it for you. By the time we go to Pluto, moon, and the full moon, anything that you're kind of suppressing is just going to kind of explode on itself. But we'll get to that later, because you do not want to be on the other side of that. For those of you who keep it real, I'm beginning to realize, like, it's just a foreign language to some people. Like, the way people move is going to be so exposed. The way people move is about to be exposed unlike any other. All right? Mars, Mercury, and the sun in Cancer is giving you an awareness, a passion, and a mental understanding of not only what you feel and others feel, but how that lens to what you express in your relationships and how you extend who you really are. Because anything that's not really real in that equation, Pluto's just going to put on a chopping block, because no one has time for that. Saturn, like I said before, is pissed because you have people who care less about their integrity and more about what other people feel. So this is like, all right, screw you, Chiron and Pisces. If you're going to be healing them and giving that bravado, I'm going to just make your job harder. Now, Chiron in Pisces is pissed because all the stuff that you're healing, that most people are healing to make them feel more comfortable having faith, they're using it to feed their illusions instead of let go of what isn't necessarily real, isn't necessarily what their intuition is trying to key them in on. And I mean, you just owe it to yourself to either not let yourself play yourself or to let others play themselves around you. Because if you know that someone else is supporting something, oh my God, is supporting something that isn't necessarily like true, and you're doing it out of necessity, or convenience, you're no different. Someone asks, can you make someone awaken, or do they awaken when God wants them to? The only one who can awaken someone is themselves. An awakening is purely what happens by that person's self. The God within them awakens. You know, if you wanted to wake up your child, you can pour water on them. You know what I'm saying? But it's their reaction to that stimulus that wakes them up. And you cannot force someone to awake, because at most you're just a facilitator. But if you're a facilitator in that person's experience, they manifested you. So it's not even like you had any control over that. You were just at the right place, right time to be used in the grand scheme of things. You feel me? And like I said, we just passed by the moon in Libra. So the character defamation transit starts. The gaslighting starts from moon in Cancer to moon in Libra. The revelation of all revelations, my friends, this is the gaslighting. This is the character defamation chapter up until the moon in Capricorn, where you're going to have a bullshit ultimatum that you have to make. Whatever ultimatums come, just know you don't have to make any decision. Like, you're going to have people at the end of the week say, well, if you don't do this, then this is going to happen. And you could literally laugh in their face. You could literally laugh in their face, because they're going to make it sound like it's a huge deal, but it's not. It's never. It's purely for your manipulation. It's purely to control you. One thing that you have to do leading up to them, when you feel that someone is trying to be manipulative, when you feel that someone is trying to control you, you cannot let them do so. And you have to prove it and show with your actions that what they're doing, because some people, they don't listen to your words. Telling them is not enough. You have to either like mirror it to them and show them, or just let them know that their actions are not controlled. Breathe, you should not let them control you. If someone is manipulating you, unless you want them to control you, you know what I'm saying? Some people, that's their fetish. They like being used. They like being puppets. If that's your thing, go. If not, and if you're like D, who no one can control, then you know what I'm saying? Make sure you let that be evident. Because with all this intuitive, irrational energy, this is the dark side of this. You're going to have people who follow their intuition. You're going to have people who are completely delusional, okay? And in the grand scheme of things, there's a little bit of both. Everyone has a bit of delusion in their life right now. And the reason why Chiron in Pisces is OD pissed, just like Scorpio, just like Cancer is pissed, is because people do not dreams, okay? People do not share their feelings. So the stuff that's supposed to be brought out to the open so that it can be healed, they're not being brought out to the open. They're being suppressed. That suppression does not let the water be purified. The water starts to smell, and then you either get susceptible for possession, which is what we're stepping into now that the moon's in Scorpio. Every time the moon passes Scorpio, portals open. So from the moon in Scorpio to the moon in Taurus, people just get possessed all day, every day, until the moon goes back into Cancer, opposes Pluto, and whoever is possessed, they get exorcised. And then it happens again. So keep that in mind. If you want to combat possession, you have to make sure you're healing yourself every day. You're making sure that you're of a sound mind and heart every day and night. You make sure that you never go to sleep angry or sad. Those of you who go to sleep depressed, those of you who go to sleep angry, you're opening the doorway for, this is what they say, oh yes, someone who's not in control of their emotions. They're opening the door for us to take control of them. And then they'll just feed that. They'll just make you more angry, they'll make you more sad, and then they can control you from those feelings. You think it's you. You don't know if someone's literally playing. Just think to the devil and the angel on your shoulder. You have people telling you to be positive. That negative side's like, they don't understand your pain. How dare they suggest you be positive? They don't know what you're going through. You don't know, you're playing yourself. Like you're letting them play you. Like it's just an excuse, but it's really a negative entity feeding you bullshit so that you can feed into it. You literally have to feed into it. For real. Apologize said anger weakens you in the dream realm. It's like a burn in Pokemon. It's like a status effect. So all you got to do is remember your power, like we did Aries season. This is Cancer season, my friends. The moon is transiting Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, and this has everything to do with expressing the depth of your love and then coming into a lifestyle of joy to where you can feel happy doing everything you do while still being sincere. Everything that gets in the way of that is about to be purged. And what really adds to this is that in a few short days, Venus is going to enter Gemini. And before Venus enters Gemini, we're going to have it square the nodes. And that's what it's doing right now. Venus is squaring the nodes right now. And the nodes that are squaring Venus are setting into, Yo said manipulators love to puppeteer someone through uncontrolled emotions. Yep. And, you know, Venus squaring the nodes is setting you up for relationships that are meant to last the rest of your life right now. But it's square. See, when you go through squares, they're just as potent as conjunctions. The conjunction is just going to be more unified and have much more direct experience. Squares are no different than conjunctions, except with the only exception of the energy clashing, because they're wanting to do the same thing but in different ways. Okay, a Leo and a Taurus are both wanting to love, same as an Aquarius. Aquarius is more detached with it. Leo is a little bit too extra with it. Taurus is just a bit deadpan, like, I could be bothered, they can come to me. They're all still currencies, but they do this a little bit different. So Venus, okay, at the master degrees of Taurus, has Moscato in one hand, Moscato in the other hand. She's not normally a drunk, but she's a little bit pissed because Saturn is in Sagittarius, king cuncing her, and she's not really being appropriately valued because she's dropping a lot of common sense knowledge to people, but she's seeing other people get taken advantage of because they're giving away their value. And Venus just wants to bless you. Okay, Venus doesn't want to have to now go into Gemini and just start talking smack, because when a Gemini is mad, all they do is talk shit. The shit they talk won't even make sense. They'll just talk useless crap because Gemini loves to argue. Like, if we can just say rude stuff, we will. That's our dark side. Don't let Venus be like that. We still have some time. She's going to like master herself right around the time Mercury catches up to make a perfect sextile with her in Leo. Mercury is at least pushing through. Mercury wants to get pissed too, but Mercury sees everyone else is pissed and it's like, nah, I got to keep the positivity somehow. But it's opposite Pluto. It's not really working that much. Pluto and Mercury don't really get along as well as they should. So I'm just saying, a lot of you are going to be feeling a whole bunch of shit towards establishment that really has you expressing how you really feel about things. Okay, and this is going to cause a lot of arguments. This is why I said, like, this is a civil world war. Like, to stop doing this taking sides thing. Those of you trying to take sides and play the Jupiter and Libra thing, you're going to play yourself because anyone can get it. You and your best friend can go 2 hours vanquishing fools in the name of justice, and then for the next 10 minutes, you and your best friend get at it because both of you now have something you don't agree with each other on. And it is what it is. Like, it's you just have to realize it's not about who you've known the longest. It's not even about what you expect. to control out of certain situations when all you have is this moment, and you really just have to stop expecting that tomorrow is promised. But you have to, as some huge element outside of all this energy, be willing to be uncompromisingly yourself, even if that means you're going to be compromised, because even you are not the only perfect one. And even you have a 12th house, and even you have things that you may be blind to. So as long as you have an open mind, you'll get through this. Venus, like I said, going through Gemini, is going to reveal a lot of truths. But the truths that get revealed have much to do with the value that is placed, so that as you cross through these destined moments that have been really happening for the last 2 weeks, because the square is only intensifying, but this square happened as soon as Venus got into Taurus, even though it wasn't exact. Now it's about to move into Gemini. So the seeds that you're sowing and the work that you're doing now, especially over through this week, as the moon will oppose Scorpio, or the moon will oppose Venus in Scorpio as it moves into Gemini, it's going to reveal a bunch that you may not necessarily like, but will be very pivotal for you, because it's going to give you something real. It's not going to give you a fantasy you can look forward to. It's going to give you something real, whether you like it or not. So before Venus moves into Gemini, it's going to manifest a gift of the heart for you. And it's not about whether it's what you wanted. It's about how you're going to utilize it and being appreciative of the fact it's real. This is why Venus in Taurus is pretty pissed, because Venus in Taurus is hooking you up with stuff, but you're like, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. I don't know if it's good enough. It's not what I've been fantasizing. It's not what I've been wanting. And Venus in Taurus is just like, screw what you want. This is real. Do you want something fake? Or do you want something real? But it is what it is. I'm not saying to settle, okay? I'm not saying to settle. I'm talking about stuff that comes in your life that you could utilize for your favor. I'm not saying to settle with certain things that you know you have no business settling with. Anyway, regardless, Mercury is gonna speed up into Leo, and let's go to the Peace Mobile. As you can see, this is the next week ahead, but let's start from today. The moon is in Scorpio, and this is where your dreams are going to be revelatory, and the intuition and the feeling you have is just going to be more on point. Even more amazing as the moon is going to shift into Sag, as of course Venus does. So from now to the 4th, this is pivotal. This is going to be huge. Keep that in mind. The moon in Scorpio for the next couple of days is going to reveal at length very potent knowledge and wisdom about how to feel and why to feel about what you're feeling. So this trine here is everything. And this is going to help you feel into it. So Pluto intensifies this. It makes this so much realer, while Venus is at the final degree of Taurus on some gangster shit. So really keep this in mind profoundly. Once again, oh shit. There's also a very important sense of Chiron being involved with the retrograde. But what you just want to keep in mind here is your intuition is right. It doesn't have to be logical, and it doesn't have to be factually, critically by the detail, but what you're feeling is guiding you along, okay? You may feel like someone is your soulmate. That doesn't mean they're your soulmate, but it means that you should keep feeling that, whether you get with them or not, okay? Whether you get with them or not, this is not the time to attach to the way you think it's supposed to be. But if you're feeling a certain way, honor those feelings. and just ride it out. Because you're here for an adventure anyway, not to try and figure it out. You're not a Virgo. And if you are a Virgo, then, you know, Neptune's opposite. So even you're supposed to just let go. But regardless, as we move forward, once again, you're going to be revealed certain things emotionally that you didn't know, because now you're going to have the awareness of the emotions to see. Prepare for what you get revealed. It's going to be intense. It's going to change the game so that once it goes into Sagittarius and this opposition, you remember what I said about my Venus in Gemini. As Venus is in Gemini uncovering the truths, Mercury is also going to be trying the moon. Mercury going into Leo now in the middle of the week is going to inspire your heart with so much powerful ideas. However, the square that it'll initially make to Uranus may challenge quite greatly you feel about those beliefs and ideas through how passionate you express them. Thankfully, the moon in Sagittarius will be having you come into the meaning of what all this revelation was, because you're going to see what you feel here. And once this intensifies on Saturn, and the sun is more so opposite, we have this dead conjunct sextile, the truth of what your heart expresses will inspire your mind and heart with a greater way to say it, and remind you everything that you say, destiny is just going to hyper manifest. And you're going to start to see evidence of this on the 6th. So this is the initial shifting of your reality. The initial shifting was Moon in Gemini, but this is the initial shifting of your reality due to Mercury contacting this nodal energy. And for this short week with the moon in Scorpio and Sag is going to shift everything. Why? Oops. Because the actions you took on the 1st, when the moon was in Libra, was like your final test. If you think about it, this is the last time the moon will be in Libra. Before now, the sun is getting ready to go to the next half of the zodiac. Once the sun, as is getting ready to do, on the 6th shifts past 15 degrees, we're now in the Eastern Hemisphere. And these short 2 days are going to change everything and make you more focused on life outside yourself. So once we end the week with the moon on Pluto, it's going to do so much to transform profoundly everything you felt, you thought, but this purging period, as well as the transformation of how you feel into your integrity and power, really, you know, this is going to be a superpower transit, has everything to do with what you're uncovering now. The secrets that are uncovering today, especially tomorrow on the 3rd, you should just really feel more psychic and in tune. If a lot of you are feeling a lot of this positive energy, that's a huge reason why. That's a huge reason why. So keep that in mind. And let's not forget, we still do have, you know, Jupiter trucking forward. So as the sun makes a direct square to Jupiter, this is going to do a whole lot to trigger, even with the quincunx, and trine, a psychic awareness of how you can blend your feelings with others. And not only just blend your feelings, but also at a large degree, acknowledge how powerfully you can express your energy, project your energy, and bring yourself to the table of what everyone brings to the pot. One other thing that you want to really keep in mind is that with Mars making its opposition to Pluto, this is going to inevitably bring a battle to you, Front Street. So some of you feel this because you're very intuitive, but don't think you can escape this. Some of you, it's spiritual battle all around. Some of you, this is going to happen on a mental level with negative thoughts. Some of you, this is going to happen emotionally with you feeling dark stuff. Others, this is going to happen with people, all right? And the dark forces are going to send agents. You might be more powerful if they have to send a person, all right, to actually screw your world up. And it's simple. Don't worry, it's going to happen again. but this is simple. This is just a visitation. You have to stand your ground this week and tell it to F off. Okay, this is Mars in Cancer opposite Pluto. You have to tell it to F off. Okay, like this is cardinal energy. Don't bring roses to a war. Like you really need to stand up for yourself. And this expression of this combative feelings, Mars in Cancer with Mercury and the Sun, this is like, yo, what's good? Like really expressing how you feel. Mars is not a happy planet. So let that water boil and express it to what you think needs to be purged, because it's no games. And I told you, thank you, Khalil, I told you since the beginning, once we enter Cancer season and spiritual warfare, you cannot be treating this game like, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about anybody, even the person you trust the most. They could be used by dark forces. So that means even you, sometimes you can get caught off guard. Not everyone is happy all the time. You can get caught off guard, get mad, and be used by dark forces. This is why you have to work on yourself the most. And make sure, above all, you don't get caught slipping. All right? Make sure, above all, you stay true to your message. Because even me, I can become a false prophet if I lose my way. So I have to make sure I look at my own internal decisions and examine everything I do. Okay, so keep that in mind. Anything causing you to be irrationally angry, unless you have righteous, passionate anger, is probably a dark force. Don't let them play you. And yeah, before I get to the cards, you know, I am doing the full moon webinar in Capricorn. And in that full moon in Capricorn webinar, we're going to do what we usually do. We're still on Cancer season. So just like we did in the new moon in Cancer webinar, we're going to do another world healing session. The world healing session and the healing session we did in the new moon was to prepare us. All right. The reason why a lot of you got through that square was because you were a part of that healing. And I thank you, because it helped me a whole lot too. Then we're going to clean the trash up and purge it all. For Capricorn, we're going to talk about at length the details of what the balsamic phase and the transits after that full moon are going to do, because we're getting ready for Leo. Did you see how I just like started smiling? Like, we're getting ready for Leo. That is going to be super lit. This Leo season is going to be one of the most lit Leo seasons ever in existence. A lot's going to be fun. A lot of people are going to be put on blast. You're going to see everyone's inner diva come out profoundly, and it's going to be stupid lit. Okay, so this is going to be a super intense full moon in Capricorn transit to new moon in Leo. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you very much. Very intense full moon Capricorn transit into Leo. And, you know, it's really up to y'all how you, kind of work with that and understand that. Thank you very much, Mario. And yeah, keep that in mind, because if you choose not to believe yourself when it counts, it's not going to be pretty. All right. And just like Lilith is in Sagittarius, with Juno in Capricorn, you really have to ask yourself, what are the goals you're willing to commit yourself to? What is that goal? What is that moment of victory that you're willing to stick with no matter what happens? Because your commitment will continue to be tested by how you're going to commit to that. The opposition Cancer makes to Capricorn is, even when you don't feel like committing to it, are you still going to commit to it? Because this is truly what's going to separate those who are about it with those who just do it because they feel like it, whatever they want. All right, and that's what's going to really going to, you know, separate very profoundly, and you know, how serious and passionate you are about this spiritual path. At that, it's very important to know in your chart how your own Lilith and your own Juno really aspect this. My Juno is in Scorpio, so I know that even though it's sextiling Juno and Capricorn, this is actually going to make me more committed, so that I can align much greater the deeper aspects that the Scorpio placement gives me with the grounded aspects that Capricorn can now bring out of the depths. It makes it real. So, you know, one thing that I'll cover, it's for those of you who have yet to get the mega webinar, strongly advise you do so, especially for the live session. One thing that it's great is that you basically get 4 webinars in one, because I'm going to be talking about 4 asteroids, Juno, Ceres, which is like Demeter, the goddess of Earth, and Chiron. Thank you, the Freestyle Doctor. And I'm going to talk about how the sun and moon, I'm going to talk about how the sun and moon very powerfully determine and dictate your awareness of these asteroids, where the aspects that your sun makes to these asteroids is how aware you are of them, whereas the aspects that, thank you, Calixte, or Calix, the aspects that your moon gives you the secrets of the asteroids, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, Ali Smith says Lilith is her whore. For some of you, Lilith is your boss. If you have Lilith on your MC, that means your employers are going to be, it's like working for Lilith, and they're going to make you do some shady shit. Unless, you know, it depends on some other stuff. Thank you, Miss Kiki. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very, very grateful. So, yeah. I really do advise getting the webinar. I'm going to talk about some compatibility and how your asteroids conjunct another person's asteroids or planet. Well, we'll talk about that lightly, but it's still, we're going to give a basic foundation so you can know some tips like whether to avoid someone who has a Lilith or not. The key here is you don't want to avoid them. You just want to know what role they're playing, when it happens, why it happens. And yeah, links in the description below. And still definitely have the eclipse reports on deck. For those of you who haven't gotten an eclipse report, I strongly recommend that you get it now, because we're only a month away before the new moon eclipse in Leo. The eclipse report is going to let you know the next 6 to 12 months ahead of what this new moon in Leo eclipse is going to be like for you. So it is what it is. Thank you, Anna. Really appreciate that. And yeah, so the first card I have for Aries is Mending. And this is really taking into account the stuff within your heart that needs to be healed and dealt with, so that you kind of don't let yourself be distracted by certain expectations. Basically, Aries, you might have had some expectations about how certain things are supposed to go, and this is really the root of why you're probably feeling negative about things, and you really just need to mend that by surrendering the need to control and to have things go your way all the time. Taurus, the card that I have for you is the Tribe. So I see you as building this tribe, Taurus. You are the producer. You are the one that provides everyone the means to possess what they want. But those of you looking for your soul tribe, Taurus, it's going to come to you. They're just going to find you. Like you were the last part of the tribe that they decided to go through, that they saved the best for last, and the whole tribe is going to assemble. Like Taurus, you're just going to go outside and whistle with your two, and then the whole tribe just assemble. Like, okay. Gemini, the card that I have for you is Yang, baby. So for those of you who've been wanting to release your Yang, this is music to my ears, because it's like the Ace of Wands. You're going to be able to make your chakra visible and take the inner energy you've been building and manifest it out and make physical. Super gangster. Good job, Gemini. You definitely deserve it. This Yang energy is going to really open the door and move forward a whole lot that you've been wanting to move forward. So rock on with your bad selves. Cancer, the card that I have for you is Peace. So the Peace card that we have is saying that despite the oppositions that are being done, despite everything that is occurring at huge length, this is going to actually bring you great peace, so that you're not really in any position to feel super bad about what's going on. And not only feel super bad about what's going on, but you don't have to feel guilt or feel responsible. Just facilitate what's being felt. You're not supposed to feel perfect about everything. And sometimes you're going to feel negative about stuff you don't like. That's okay. It's not anyone else's business. So you're going to be at peace and enjoy that peace, even if others are not peaceful. And I said this before and I'll say it again. Y'all need to let other people suffer. There are going to be people who are saying, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, please help me. And it's like, nah, let them deal with it themselves. Like, this is not the time to play Mother Teresa. It's usually just a distraction so that you don't focus on yourself. Leo, the card that I have for you is breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. All right. Breathe is very self-explanatory. Some of you Leos are just getting so flared up in the face of all this injustice. You're literally forgetting to breathe. Like, you're just getting high off your own arrogance or anger. And it's like, chill out, okay? Breathe. And let me tell you something. If someone's at a higher spiritual level than you, it doesn't matter if you're right. Let them have the last word. Okay, Leo? And I'm going to be honest, you have destiny on your side. So chances are you're the one who's right. And you cannot be out here arguing with everybody, okay? So even if that other person's wrong, let them have the last word, because you're royalty. You're really just better off beheading mofos than trying to argue them. Just breathe, like, for real. If you need to send some assassin ninjas to, like, let some people know who's boss, just know you don't have to be as direct, okay? And yeah, you notice there's a million reasons for why you need to breathe, but I already know it's off of some pettiness you're having to deal with. So just breathe, okay? Don't flare up too much with the fire. I know Taurus is squaring you right now, and it's making you feel like you have to work harder than you have to for people to pay attention to you, but just breathe, all right? You were just one of billion, even though you don't always feel it. Virgo, the card that I have for you is blessed. And I'm very glad you're getting this, Virgo. You are very much so blessed. Take this blessing and share it with others. Like, don't share with the goddamn soul, okay? They were not with you shooting in the gym. When you had your destiny chapter, Virgo, people were not helping you when you needed help, when you almost died. I want you to stunt on these people, Virgo. I want you to be that asshole that's just like, hey, look what I have. I'm blessed. Oh, yeah. Are you blessed? You're not blessed. You're a loser. You're a loser. Okay, Virgo? Because they did not want to help you when you were asking for help, even though you didn't help like everyone, but then they want to act like when you're blessed now, they have to take what you've been blessed with. You better stun on these people. You better stun on these people. That's all I'm going to say. Let me catch you being kind like you normally do. When they take advantage of you, I'm going to laugh at you, okay? Be blessed, be grateful, and be happy. Libra, the card that I have for you. Libra, similar to Gemini. Thank you so much, Behind the Veil. And yes, stay tuned. I will pull cards for those of you who are donating. Libra, I have Yang, just like Gemini. So you all as well are going to take certain ideas and stuff you incorporate from your imagination and make real. You as well. You're going to make a Kamehameha wave. Some of you are going to make an energy ball for the first time because you have excess buku energy. And it's like, oh, I can finally do this. It's going to be real, my friend. It's going to be amazing. And you're going to have a lot of power. All right. Yang for Gemini and Libra also means a lot of sexual energy. Beware of how you use it. You may not know you're brimming with a lot of it more than you is. Scorpio, don't have kids. Don't have kids. Don't have kids. Scorpio, the card that I have for you is building blocks. So I know you're building your empire. I know you're planning your steps. You may think that you're on a greater phase of what you're doing right now, but go back to the steps because you're still building the building blocks. You're still preparing the way that things are going to be. So this is what the vision I have for you, okay? The vision I have for you is that you've laid over the foundation, and now you have to go back over that foundation and make sure it's steady. Make sure that you can actually like work off of what you're building so you don't get played. Thank you, Rena. Scorpios don't play themselves, so just make sure no one else gets you, because I would hate for you to get in trouble for, you know, it is what it is. But the building blocks you're setting up are going to last. Now, this is important. Thank you, Catherine Banks. This is important, Scorpio, because the building blocks that you set up are going to last, and people are going to act like they're not going to last. They're going to last. It's not, people aren't going to see your vision. People are going to be like, whatever, but they don't know that you're next up. So really keep that in mind. Okay. Sagittarius. We got round and round. Thank you, Adriana, and thank you, Elizabeth. We have round and round. The round and round card is not really talking about karma going back and forth around. It's actually talking about certain things you thought you could escape coming back again, a seal, like certain lessons or certain things that you've wanted to come back, coming back. So it's not just the bad, it's also the good. Each time these lessons come around, you may be thinking, why is this happening again? I think, thank you, Annie. I think you're under the impression, perhaps, once you deal with something, it's gone forever. But you should have already seen that's not how life even works. Like, it's gonna come back so you can upgrade it and you know, deal with it even better this time. So if you're trying to squash some stuff, that's not how it works. Maybe you might have to beat someone's ass again. Maybe you might have to forgive someone again. And it is what it is. Don't get used to mediocrity and BS, but don't feel like you're trying to transcend it. Just kind of go with it, because the bad that comes around, the good's gonna come around too. So yeah, you kind of in the loop. Capricorn, we have time to go. Yes. And you already know what it's time to go from. Thank you, Fix It Up. This is especially for those of you who are overstaying your visit, but you know that you should have left since last month. Please don't worry for whoever you're having to go from. They'll be way better off. Like, don't, if you're guilty, if you think this person is not going to really, you know, handle being without what you're leaving, the opposite is actually true, which is why it's time for you to go. And then if you're just kind of insecure about what you have to go from, it's going to be worse every time you stay, because what you're supposed to go to is not going to stay forever. And if you don't go, then you're going to be stuck in the middle where you don't have anywhere to go to because you waited too long where you're at, which is inevitably going to be, yeah. So Aquarius, thank you for the love. I seriously appreciate that. Simply Ren, thank you very much. Simply Read. Aquarius, for you, we have not for you. That's so hilarious. So we have not for you. Nope. This is the no card. So the first thing that you thought was not for you is not for you. And this is great confirmation if you weren't sure if it was for you or not. But yeah, it's totally not for you. And whether that's a relationship, whether that's a place you're in, there's your confirmation, my friend. It's just no. It's completely like the no card. Anything that you might have been needing that, so to know. And Pisces, for you, we also have, similar to Scorpio, building blocks. So this is at length talking a lot about, you know, being in a position to build up what it is you've been doing. The work that you've been doing has not been for nothing, Pisces, and this is the message of this card. You've been doing a whole lot that, because Neptune's in your sign and because Chiron's in your sign, you haven't really seen like too much of the results for. But the opposite is true. You've been actually going so hard, it's all just gonna rain down on you. Oh my God, that sounded really weird. Please forgive me. But yeah, it is what it is. I should not have that dirty of a mind. And thank y'all for tuning in live. This is where I'm going to end the broadcast. Khalil, thank you so much for your donation. The card is the Five of Swords, so prepare for a fight, my friend. There's a lot of people talking smack behind your back, and you're gonna crack. You're not gonna take it for much longer, and you're gonna have to clap back. So don't try and reason with them because they don't respect you. So you might as well just burn bridges. Nancy, we have the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is saying that you're going to gain praise and admiration for what you do. Might even come as a surprise. So whatever you're doing it with the confidence of knowing it's working very well. Morgan, we have the Moon. Your psychic abilities are profoundly intact. And what this means is that you want to trust your intuition because what you think is on the surface is not at all what it seems, but your emotions are going to really key you in to what's really going on. All right. Thank you, Aria. And thank you, Apollodati. Q. Card we have is the Two of Cups. So there is powerful soulmate love in the works for you. If you're single, you're not going to be single much longer. If you are not single, then your relationship with your beloved is about to get a whole lot better. Thank you, Apollodati, for the blessing, by the way. You always do some amazing stuff here, Leo, so you know how they do. The Freestyle Doctor, Priestess, so trust your intuition. Right now, and it's not logical at all. Your intuition is keying you into certain secret mysteries that have been hidden from the rest of humanity. So it's not supposed to make sense because it's like you being a secret agent, being into something. So you need to trust it like you're trusting a command from a CIA agent, and your intuition is right. So that should be scary because your intuition came into some weird stuff and it's got you logically like that can't be true. It is. Colleagues say the card we have for you is the Nine of Cups. Your wish coming true, girl. True. Make a wish right now. Your wish came true. The card we have for you is the High Priestess, girl. Your intuition is on fleek, and you're very intelligent. So you come to conclusions that others would never because you have a unique way of thinking about things. So you have to trust your intuition because it's keying you in to the actual thing that's happening where everyone else is clueless. So don't listen to everyone else because they don't know. They need to come to you for advice. You go, girl. Your dreams are also keying you in profoundly. So your intuition is going to know things before other people know. So just trust it and wait for it. Queen Deji. We have the Ace of Cups. This is a new love. This is your heart opening. Wait on it. By your birthday, you'll experience it. This is going to be love that makes you go happy and be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So you're going to love that. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you very much, Yvonne. All right. Behind the veil, the card we have for you is the Sun card. So behind the veil, you deserve this happiness. I think you've been a little bit masochistic because you've let some people guilt trip you a large part of your life. So it's been hard to like let happiness in, even though you're very positive and you help others. So I'm really getting the message from the Sun. Please don't block your happiness. It's like you're not blocking your happiness, but it's something like subconscious. And it's like any guilt that you've had is going to shine through. And this is going to be enlightening because it's going to feel like, wow, a whole lot of stuff that you've been accused of doing that as a kid you've kind of guilted yourself, you're going to release from that because you're going to realize you weren't at all. Like, it's going to be real happiness that continues because you already have a lot of this, but it's going to come even more. Rena! What's up, Rena? I don't know why my energy reacted like this. We have the Seven of Wands, Rena. So Seven of Wands is simple. You are the hot stuff right now. You achieve something you deserve, and now people want to come and take it from you. You need to beat their ass, whether with your words or with your fists. This person using their fists because they have no time for the BS. Rena, do not let these people play you. There are going to be people being super petty, and defend what you have. Do not let anyone talk to you any which way. You going to be good, Rena, though. You're going to be good. Don't even let them play you. I'm just saying, don't feel guilty because you stand up for yourself. Catherine. We have the King of Cups, so this is a very seductive king who's going to slide his way up into your world, hopefully not through your DMs, but this is the card of a Scorpio man. It doesn't have to be a Scorpio man, no. This person's going to reflect the compassion in your heart, and I don't sense anything negative with this person, so at the very least, this could be someone platonic you get advice from, but it also could be a very romantic opportunity. Brianna, the card that we have for you is the Death card. Thank you, Ahmed. So, Brianna, this is your agent of transformation. Kind of meant to like skedoodle from your life is just going to like kill itself, or really just not be influenced. And in your case, there's something energetically that's attached to you that's finally going to get purged, like finally. So don't worry if you can't do anything about it. It's finally going to leave. Elizabeth, King of Pentacles. So a sugar daddy. This could be your dad, though. This might not be a sugar dad, but this is someone who wants to be a sugar daddy. This is someone who could be a friend, too, who gives you great financial advice. But the King of Pentacles wants to hook you up. He wants to invest in something that you have to do. So he may not outright say it. He might be waiting for your invitation because he doesn't want to impose himself and feel like, oh, I'm rich and I can do what I want. But there's something that you're doing that he sees potential in, and you might want to open up to him about those dreams. I see. For you is the Six of Swords. The worst is over. You're sailing towards a positive future, and you're going to see things start to pick up for you, especially if you're talking to someone online. It's going to be really positive for you, all right? So just allow your thoughts to move forward. Annie, we have the Chariot. You the motherfucking winner. You winning. You catching a W this week, Annie. All right, so whatever you're doing, do it with swag and know that you're winning. Like, you're going to win and succeed in whatever you do. It's better than the Midas touch. Really, 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 really be happy about that. Fix it up. We have the Three of Wands, so make some long-term goals. Plan out your future ahead and take action on those plans. You've already done this to a degree, so the plans you've made, you're going to see some improvements so that you're actually in a position to reap on those. Simply read. The card that I have for you is the Four of Cups. So if you have to, like, you know, withdraw from a situation and contemplate your feelings, do so. What's really going to happen is you're just going to be curving people. Like I've been doing that too. I've been curving people left and right. So you're probably going to be curving people because it doesn't feel right. Honor those feelings. Don't feel like you have to like not do so. Aria, we have the King of Pentacles for you. So this is really, in your case, you thinking like a boss. Really pretend that you are a boss of like a 5 corporations, and you're going to make your moves based off of that mindset, because you really so are. Like, you really are a boss, and you're really bringing this part of yourself out, okay? So really keep this in mind. Aphrodite, my dude. We have the Ten of Swords. This is a Sun in Gemini. I know you're involved with the Gemini person, but really, this is a 12th house transit for you, my friend, and there's something that you have to give up on. And this is going to be hard because you're not a quitter. So this could actually be the end of a bad situation. This could be something that's been negative eating at you that's done forever. And it's like, it's never going to get this bad. But whatever this comes as, whatever you have to give up on, it's setting you up for your birthday period where it's going to be amazing. Toby, the card that we have for you is the Seven of Wands. So you might have to beat some fools over the head who are questioning your authority. And really, like, this is all about defending your space. Because if you try and, Toby, in your case, I think you're trying to be nice to people who are throwing shade at you. And they're smiling in your face, but they're really plotting behind your back. You have to actually bring it to the open, even if they gaslight you and make you feel weird. You just don't let people play you, and you're in the right. So just stand up for yourself, all right? And I think you are standing up for yourself, and you're too powerful to them, so they're trying to play to your nice side. Don't believe it. They're being fake. Okay, Toby, beat these dudes over the head. Yvonne, will the real Yvonne please stand up? All right, Yvonne, the card we have for you is the Two of Swords. So you're very indecisive. You're not sure how to decide on something. And the reason why you're not sure how to decide is because your intuition is picking up on the fact that you're being lied to. Okay, so you don't know how to make a decision because you're not being told the full like information, and they're trying to make you to make a decision on something that's not necessarily true. So you're just like, what do I do? Don't say a word. And tell that person to be honest with you, and until they're really 100% honest, then it is what it is. Like they're not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to make a decision. Nikita, the card that I have for you is the Eight of Pentacles. So keep on the work that you're doing. You're going to get recognized even more. Thank you, Jaiwan or Jiwan. If you're looking for a job, this is going to be a great one. Thank you, Christina. All right, and definitely, make sure the work that you're doing, you keep doing. The work you're doing is great. Just keep it up. The more value you put in, the better. And this is going to actually help you be a lot more grounded. Miss Kiki, I pulled your card already. What card did we pull? I forgot what card I pulled for you, but I did pull for you already. So you might have to rewind. But it was more the beginning one. It was near the beginning. Nikita, the card that we have for you is the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is talking about you being very passionate. Oh, no. It's actually someone else. Someone else is going to inspire you very profoundly, but they're going to move at a pace faster than you kind of want to be. And yeah, hold on. I think I just did one for Nikita. So if I just pull two for you, then yeah, both of those apply. Be mindful of this Knight of Wands because he's very passionate, but he's not really the smartest. He kind of just blows people, but you're going to need that inspiration. Jay, the card we have for you is the Queen of Cups, Jay. There's a woman who has a very soft spot for you, bro. She has very deep feelings for you, but she's not really going to express them to you because she doesn't want to necessarily think that she's weird because she basically tells you how obsessed she is with you. All right, KB, I got you. Thank you. So this is a very psychic woman, and I think you're going to be really, pleased, but just be a bit delicate because she's not really the type. She waits for the invitation, I'd say. And this is someone who's very good for you. So I think you have feelings for her too. Ahmed, the card that I have for you is the Temperance card. The Temperance card at length is talking about you doing everything in mediation. The Temperance card is also going to teach you how to step beyond the realms. Thank you, Brown Burrito. And not only step beyond the realms, all right, but thank you, Sunflower Showers. But also to actually help you be keyed in to other stuff from beyond this realm. It is what it is, though. And just make sure that as you balance your lifestyle, you're doing everything you do in moderation. G1, the card that we have for you is the Six of Swords. So this is also speaking to you moving towards a positive future. Thank you, Planet Liberty. And not only moving through a positive future, but also being in a position to really, express yourself more freely. So the worst is over. You're going to be feeling a lot better with your situation, and just sail forward and don't look back. Christina, the card we have for you is the Six of Swords too. So the message for Jiwan is the same. Don't look back, move forward, and definitely be in a position where you can definitely be grateful for the shifts that have been happening for you. KB, the card we have for you is the Three of Swords. So you're going to have to sacrifice a whole lot moving forward. You're definitely going to have to let go of what you might have to, hold on to moving forward. It's going to be painful because it's nothing that is bad, but you're going to have to sacrifice it, like a certain habit or someone who betrayed you. You have to let them go. Brown, the card we have for you is the King of Swords. So this is talking about being objective. This is someone who's going to really take the way you think and this might be a bigot. I'm going to be real, but hopefully this is the cool King of Swords, and he's going to give you profoundly great advice. This is also about you talking about being a lot more objective too and not being swayed by your emotions. Sunflower Showers, the card that we have for you is the Eight of Cups. You need to walk away. And not only do you need to walk away, you need to be in a position where you actually like leave your situation. You're gonna have to go on a spiritual quest, and this is gonna really involve you stepping away from stuff you've invested in. So if you feel like you're not finished with certain things, don't worry, you'll come back, but just walk away. Planet Liberty, we have the 5 of Swords, so you might have to burn a bridge or two because certain people don't want to take you as seriously as you are. This could also be you not being in the right state of mind and you kind of having a scattered mind, but hopefully this is not necessarily in a sense where you're being suppressed. This argument is inevitable, so just kind of go with it as it comes. Timothy Davis, the card we have for you is the 10 of Cups. So there's peace, there's harmony, there's perfect love. You may be with the love of your life if you haven't met them. And this is really just talking more about a phase of peace that's going to wash your heart and soul. Enjoy it, my friend. This is going to be very positive, okay? Child of Destiny, the card that we have for you is the Moon. So above all, trust your intuition and trust what the universe is showing you behind the scenes, because it's not going to be in your face. But whereas everyone else is getting fooled, you're going to be seeing a peeping game. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much again. Y'all stay blessed. And until next time,